far as the dip, does it ever make you nervous? Like, whoa, what's going on here? Because I noticed that, like, I don't know if it's the algorithm or if certain times of the year they're like, all right, we got these advertisers and they don't appreciate this content, so let's suggest it less. Like,
I think it, no matter how you it, and you could try to rationalize it one way or another, but if you get a really strong guest with a really strong story and you pull off a really strong interview, the views will come. I don't care what time of the year it is. I don't care what the climate is. I don't care who else is doing that person. Like, if I drop something big, it's going to be big. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, you're always surprised. You don't know when things are going to go viral. But, look, I know ahead of time, okay, this is probably not going to react. But it's, still, content is still flowing out and we still got to push it out and we'll, figure it out later.
What are the episodes that you feel like, I know this isn't going to go too far, but I want to do this?
Oh, there's been lots, man, especially this year. I did Alan Dershowitz. He was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, Mike Tyson's lawyer, O.J. Simpson's lawyer, Donald Trump's lawyer.
But how do you, that's got to move though.
Well, it moved a little bit, but not exactly with my audience.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. An old 80-year-old Jewish guy is not exactly my target audience. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's an important interview. Mm-hmm. And it's a historically important interview. This is one of the, he's also a Harvard professor. Like, this is someone who's, when we talk about the Israeli conflict, he's met with the leader of Israel and Palestine, had dinner with both of them at different times. That type of perspective is like way beyond what I could comprehend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's really been in the room with these people, having conversations with these people. I asked him, how did Jeffrey Epstein really die? And he said, he doesn't think that he was murdered, but he thinks he probably paid off a guard to allow him to hang himself. Because he just, knowing, he's like, he thinks that someone who's been private jets, private islands, girls everywhere could deal with a prison cell for the rest of his life. Right. So he probably paid off a guard to look the other way. I'm going to go hang myself and you could pocket this money. Wow. So yeah, all the time, man. All the time.
Aside from Epstein, am I allowed to talk about your coming guests?
Not that picture I showed you.
Not that picture?
Not that picture, because that hasn't been announced yet.
I
got someone.
But this will probably come out after that.
I don't know yet. let's just keep it quiet. But
right.
The person he's talking about is probably the most important person in the music industry globally. Y'all can figure it out.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Am I right though in that assessment?
Yeah. It's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I can't add to it because then they're gonna be like, oh, we know what he's talking about. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Other surprising guests for this year. The viral moments. What are your biggest viral moments? Like
the viral moments? I mean, Boosie always goes viral.
Yeah.
Boosie talking about taking his daughter's car back.
I need in on this whole Boosie arrangement, man, because he came over here and we did pretty damn good.
Yeah. There's actually, well, we haven't put it out yet because we're waiting for the full interview to come out. But I have a whole, I actually flew down because me and Boosie kind of have different agreements, every year. And this year, our agreement was that every interview is going to be in person. Because you know what I mean? Since I'm behind the camera, some interviews are being done on FaceTime and it just looks like we're in the same room. But I'm like, something? Like, this is such an important guest and we have such a good chemistry with each other. I said, every interview we have to do in person. So you either have to come to LA or I'll fly to Atlanta. Right. So last time I flew to Atlanta and I'd never been to his house before. You know what I'm saying? I was always invited, but I just never go to Atlanta. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go to Atlanta. I'm like, I want to do the full interview and afterwards I want to tour the estate. And he's like, yeah, no problem. So this part isn't out yet, but it's announced in the interview, so everyone's always hitting me up about it. And the most interesting thing about his estate is I own my house, right? And I've owned other properties throughout the years, but I have, a house that, I bought that I'm really proud of. But whenever I buy a house, I think, all right, I'm going to buy this house. But if I have to sell it, I want to make sure it's in a good neighborhood. I want to make sure it's not the most expensive house in the neighborhood because that's going to mess up the resale value. I want to make sure it's in an area where there's lots of jobs and businesses and Because if I ever have to sell it, I want to be able to drop all the money that I put in and get it back. With Boosie, it was so interesting to see because he bought 80 acres in the outskirts of Atlanta.
Right, and he built it up. He built up
from
everything.
nothing. He bought a plot of dirt, and then he built this I think 27,000 square foot mansion. Right, he's got 8 kids and a lot of family members, so it kind of makes sense, right? And and he built it exactly how he just wants it himself. There's a bowling alley. There's I remember his bedroom is 4 king-size beds put together with 4 king-size Versace blankets stitched together, right? But wait, it gets better, right? And then so you got the bedroom here, but to the left of the bed is the master bathroom. And it's got one of these Tony Montana kind of tubs in there, right? Yeah. And then there's a see-through fireplace, right? A glass fireplace. And he was like, yeah, so I got the bed right here and the tub over here, but the fireplace is see-through, so I can have the girl on the bed and I can jack off in the tub while the girl is on the bed. And this is why he built it. He's telling the architects that this is what he wants.
Yo, Boosie is wild.
He's got a whole hidden room, a hidden porn room coming off the bedroom with DVDs and old Blacktail magazines and shit like that. Right? And then okay, so in the back there's basketball court, football field, zip line, motherfucking wishing well for one of his daughters, whole kennel and everything else like that. And you're wow, that's pretty impressive. And then you find out after he bought the property next door, he built 3 apartment buildings in the back of his property, 3-story, 3-story apartments.
Right.
And a motherfucking drive-in movie theater, another basketball court.
A drive-in movie theater.
Meaning that there's a huge screen and you can pull up cars and watch movies like a fucking drive-in. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the streets are named after his kids and his dead homies. So he has kind of a town in a way.
Yeah.
This trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.